something? No, it is you will do it.
Yes, I will do it.
Fine.
असतु मा सद्गमय तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमय मृत्युर्मामृतं गमय असतो मा सद्गमय तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमय मृत्युर्मामृतं गमय असतो मा सद्गमय तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमय मृत्युर्मामृतं गमय.
A very good afternoon to all of you and a warm welcome to the 44th Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam series. It is truly an honor to gather here once again under this inspiring banner, The World is One Family. Today we celebrate not only a powerful idea, but also a very special day that reminds us of purity, possibility, and purpose, the Children's Day. On this occasion, I wish each one of you a very happy Children's Day, to the child you once were and to the child that still lives within you. That inner child symbolizes curiosity, empathy, imagination, and the instinct to coexist peacefully, qualities that the world urgently needs today. This brings us beautifully to the theme of our session, symbiotic existence, especially in the context of ESG and sustainability. Symbiosis, at its heart, is about relationships that nurture, support, and help each other grow. Just as a child depends on the adults around them, and as we depend on future generations to inherit and protect the planet we leave behind. Today, we are very fortunate to have with us CMA Dr. Subramania Sivam, who will guide us through the fascinating concept of symbiotic insights. That is how businesses, communities, and ecosystems can thrive together when they choose cooperation over competition, responsibility over exploitation, and sustainability over short-term gain. Children instinctively understand the value of togetherness, sharing, caring, and learning from one another. If we integrate that same purity of purpose into our ESG frameworks, our sustainability efforts will no longer be obligations, but natural extensions of who we are. So, as we begin today's session, let us honor the spirit of Children's Day by rekindling that sense of wonder and responsibility and exploring how symbiotic existence can shape a more resilient and compassionate world. But before that, let me briefly introduce our much esteemed guest today. CMA Dr. Subramania Sivam is a chemistry graduate and a cost and management accountant, a chartered accountant, a company secretary, and a doctorate. To include his work experience, Sir has been an independent director in listed and NPF companies, a cost management models training and practice, MSME startup business plans, fundraising and strategic advisory and mentoring services, ESG and BRSR reporting with integration of business plans and cost management. Sir is a member of the Sustainability Standards Board of the Institute of Cost Accountants of India. He is also in the rehabilitation of sick industries, IBC, CRP, and liquidation. Previously, Sir has also handled as a cost and management in a sugar industry, cost and finance management in an integrated steel plant, internal audit and cost control in a composite textile mill, cost and finance management in automobiles components, finance and cost management in pharmaceutical industry, CFO and CS NBSc. So it's a great pleasure to have you, sir. And with that, let me invite CMA Dr. Subramania Sivam to enlighten us with his insights on this vital topic. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, Ms. Aditi. I'm really happy to share the day with all of you. That too, today, the Children's Day, which is very, very important. Because we are talking about the symbiotic existence in the context of sustainability, climate change, and so many other things, which one of the agenda includes the future of our generations. So on a Children's Day, we are discussing these issues. I'm very happy to be with all of you. Thank you very much. And let us get into the session.
Thank you, sir.
Right. Now, let me tell you the agenda which I have planned for the day. One is introduction.
Excuse me, sir. Kindly share your screen. Your PPT is not visible.
Not visible?
No, sir.
I have been sharing. Now?
No, sir.
No?
No, sir. Kindly click the share button again.
Here.
On the top right.
Yeah. And share.
Include sound and share.
One second. Now?
No, sir. Sir,
No,
or else you can mail it to me. I can share the PPT and you can carry on with your deliberations.
Yeah, I think that is better.
Okay, sir.
1 second. No, but earlier we were, while checking up, it came, no?
Yeah, it came.
1 second. I think first we have to open up anyway, I'll share it with you.
Yes, sir.
Your mail ID, tell me.
Yeah, it's ssb.newsletters@icmi.in.
SSB?
.newsletters.
Or ssb.icmi.in?
No, ssb.newsletters@icmi.in.
Newsletters, huh?
Letters, yeah.
At?
icmi.in.
Sent to you.
Okay, sir. Sir, you kindly carry on with the deliberation and I will host it soon.
Yeah. So as an introduction, I'll tell you today we are going to discuss on two major issues I want to share. One is we have been talking about the sustainability standards, ESG and all these issues, reporting all along. At the same time, there is a very important factor which we have to understand. Each one of us should have the idea of sustainability, the idea of climate change and all these issues. Then only the reporting becomes more powerful. It becomes more meaningful and effective. So the today's program, I have put it in two ways. Number one, what are all the elements which are concerned with the reporting system under ESG BRSR, and how these elements are caught up in our Vedic systems and also other areas, plus how as individuals we have to follow these systems to ensure that these goals which we are setting for ourselves in terms of 2030 or 40, 45, whatever, are really achievable. That is the whole idea of this program. Aditi, are we ready? Aditi?
Sir, 2 minutes, sir.
Yeah.
2 minutes.
So just please bear with me with just a minute. Let me PPT be on.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, we can go to slide 2.
Yes. Okay.
So I have put it in 7 different heads. One is introduction, which we have done. What is the importance of nature? Because all our discussions are going around nature only. We have to a glimpses of the reports, what is being done in the financial 24-25. Then ESG BRSR core and important issues, and going back to ancient references about this little bit. Can you make it little more bigger, that slide? Ancient references and symbiotic existence. That's fine. Yeah, we can go to the next slide. Next. So I request all the members who are attending the program, just think about nature. What is around us? What is nature we have? It is not a life. It is a life. Nature is a life. It's an organic chain. Our lives are organic chains. It's not about independence, or it is interdependence. Next slide. Human, natural, and cosmic systems thrive through mutual support. We are all aware of that. We have to understand very clearly, whatever resources we have been using from the nature, it has a limitation. Up to that limitation, as far as we are using the natural resources, we have no issue. But in terms of individuals, in terms of corporates, in terms of governments, in terms of various other factors, we have been exceeding those limits of utilization of the nature. And so we are facing all these issues of today's climate change, or El Nino, or you name it, we have it. So we have a Vedic thought also, which emphasizes balance, harmony, and sustainability. That also we are going to see through our Vedic mantras and Upanishads in my presentation. Next. So normally we call in our system, our Oriental system, the nature into 5 major issues, Panchabhutas. We call it as Panchabhutas: the space, the air, water, fire, and earth. Next. Each of these elements sustains life and requires responsible interaction. As I told earlier, we have the liberty to use up to that limitation, and anything beyond that limitation is going to be a disastrous activity from the nature. See, nature reacts with us. See, when you are overusing the nature, it reacts in its own way. Modern sustainability reflects the same fivefold ecological awareness. If we go through the reporting systems across the globe, our BRSR or GRI, you name anything, all our reporting systems are again and again in a circular way coming back to these five elements only. That means we are from the nature and we are utilizing the nature, and we have to put the house in order. That is the reflection. None of the reporting is beyond all these five elements in this sustainability development or whatever we call. Next. So now we go through what are the issues involved in each of them today. Where are we? What are the problems we have made for that five elements of nature? Number one, space. Thousands of space shuttles by all countries are available in the space now. Okay. So, but the positive side of it is, because of that only we are able to communicate like this today. People sitting at various parts of India. I am sitting in Chennai, and the organizer Aditi is sitting in Kolkata. We are able to communicate with each other only because of this positive development in science. At the same time, the space has got its own limitations. If we go beyond that, what do? We have to think over. Number two, air. Pollution through release of GHG, greenhouse gases, threat to ozone. But we have been listening to this threat for the last 20 years or more, if I am correct. Okay, but what have we done? Is it possible? See, the question comes again. The whole idea of this meeting, our meeting, is interaction with members who are very important in the society, especially. I'll come in my concluding remarks. I'll say what is the value of cost accountants in this area. Okay. So, pollution is everywhere. If you bring a business, if you have a steel industry, if you have an agrochemical industry, yes, it is positive to have the products. At the same time, it leaves pollution. How to handle it? Number three, water. Use of chemicals and excessive suction of water from the earth. See, earlier, when in our housing, if you see, generally in one plot of land, only one family was living. With 3 or 4 members or 5 members, the water resource was never a problem. Now we are converting everything into tall building structures. Thousands of families are living, and the earth has to give the same water. See, you cannot increase the water level in the earth. So that is the issue which we are facing today in major cities. At least in cities like Chennai or Bengaluru, Hyderabad, all these places are facing, especially the new areas where development is happening, water availability is a problem. Because of this, more suction of water from the earth and not refilling it properly. And fire, we are aware in California and all, the forest fires are very rampant. Quite often we could see the forest fires and all. See, fire is a very important element for lives. Okay. Without fire, life is not there. At the same time, fire is also disastrous when it is in excess. and ultimately the earth. Excessive misuse in terms of constructions and deforestations. In fact, in September, I was taking a session for FIEO, Federation of Indian Export Organizations, in terms of European reporting standards for deforestation. For products from countries like India and all your plantation products like coffee, rubber, maize, or some other products, they have made it very clear. You have to get a certification that this produce is not from a place where forest is destroyed. You have created a farmland after destroying a forest, Anti-Deforestation Act. So that is now becoming very important. Certification from the EU countries for all plantations, where you have to say, we have produced this material without deforestation. Okay, next. Now, one second. You can go to the next one. 1 second. Yeah, you can stop it there. See, now with the introduction, we have started off from understanding the natural elements, what we have been discussing. From now on, we are going to discuss on the reporting boundaries. What are the reporting boundaries now given to? I am only referring to BRSR. I am not going very deeper into the subject into other reporting forms, because the whole focus should be on symbiotic existence. See, I don't want to discuss at length on reporting system. But at the same time, where exactly the reporting system is blending with our existence is to be mentioned. That is why I am taking a few various organizations and what are all the issues to be discussed. I am presenting it here. So, if you go to the BRSR system, a BRSR reporting standards, we have 3 sections. Section A, Section B, Section C, right? In section, most of the items in Section A up to question number 20, point number 20 are general items, company's name, what is your turnover, who is your reporting authority, and all those issues. When you affecting your business, which is affecting your organization. So there it is termed as overview of the entity's material business conduct issues, risk and opportunities. See, in the BRSR format, they want the organization to report in such a way that what are all the issues? There are 2 things. Number 1, the business management issues which you are facing. Number 2, how they are linked to your sustainability. Am I right? See, one is your business management risk. The other 2 is how you are linked to your sustainability. Next one. So I am sharing a few reports here, about 6 or 7 reports here, and elaborate on the subject. Now, in the format, in the BRSR format, you have to first say, number 1, what is the risk or opportunity? No, what is the issue? You have to title it as an issue, and you have to say whether it is a risk or opportunity, and you have to say why you are terming it as a risk or opportunity, and also if it is a risk, how you are going to mitigate the risk. This is how it has been structured, our reporting format. Number 1. 1 second, madam. Just hold on, please. Sorry. Sorry. Yeah. Hello. Am I audible?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah. So in a tire manufacturing company, they have identified out of various issues carbon emissions as a risk. The reason is high regulatory pressure, market expectation for low carbon products, loss of reputation. Now, how they are going to mitigate the risk? If you see, the carbon emission in tire manufacturing is going to be a very big risk for them. They are afraid to the extent of loss of reputation. You can imagine, to the extent they have reported in their annual report. The risk mitigation, how they are going to handle it. Utilizing biofuels and renewable energy. Once you use biofuels and renewable energy, your carbon emissions level will come down to a considerable extent. Number one, it is their plan. Number two, improving efficiency across operations and a medium-term target of 25% reduction in scope 1 and 2 emission intensity. Okay. So now organizations are given an opportunity because, see, so far you have been used to a kind of business plan, a kind of operation. You cannot suddenly within 24 hours or within a year, you cannot change everything because it affects your technology, it affects your utilization of raw materials, and more than that, you do not have the capital funding available for creating a changed one immediately. At the same time, over the years, you can work on that and slowly you can come to a level acceptable in terms of emissions. Next. Circularity. It is an automobile manufacturing company. They say one of the issues is circularity. That is an opportunity. They call it as an opportunity. Now, because it enables reuse and refurbishment of products and components at the design stage itself. So we all know that automobile manufacturing is not, it is one of the, what do you call, the earliest industries in terms of industrialization. Maybe we go back to 1901, 1907 in US, in Germany, and all these automobile research and other activities came to light. So they say the design, see, in the automobile industry, design is very, very vital, very important. So at the design stage itself, if you are able to work out on the reuse of and refurbishment of the products, that is important. Special framework built for circular economy principle throughout the organization. See, in a process, in any process, start from the use of raw material, use of technology, you convert a raw product into work in progress, then that moves on to next level like that in a organization. At every level, there is the waste generation. Okay. So how you are able to convert the waste generation into a usable product is the innovative idea. Okay. See, for example, if you take the sugar industry, earlier, long back when maybe 40 years back when I joined as a management trainee, I can share with you, sugar was the main product. Okay. After crushing the sugar cane, the bagasse was used as a boiler fuel initially. And after making the sugar, the rest of it will be thrown out as a molasses. Okay. And that has no much value at that time. Slowly over the period, what has happened is the bagasse is going as a raw material for paper manufacturing, and the molasses is going as a raw material for ethanol making. Now, practically, if you see the analysis, sugar has become a byproduct. Once upon a time, it was the only product, main product. All others are waste. Actually, bagasse was a waste. Molasses was waste. Now, bagasse goes as a raw material for paper making. Now it is a joint product with sugar now for a sugar industry. And by using the excess capacity of boiler, they are also producing power. So cogeneration of power is also happening in a sugar industry. So you can imagine over the years, a single product company, a sugar only producing company. Now they are manufacturing a bagasse, which is saleable item for a process, cogeneration of power, converting molasses into ethanol. Likely, this circular economy, what is happening is, wherever possible, you can reuse the material like a plastic industry. Once you make the product, the waste material, if you are able to share that and reuse it, again, that reduces your consumption of original material. So that is the whole idea in this presentation. Next. Water security. It is a tractor and auto manufacturing company. In their report, they have mentioned water security is a risk. The reason is processes such as paint booths are water intensive in automotive and farm equipment industry. Number one. Number two, tractor sales largely dependent on monsoons in India. Two things they have given. Why they consider it as risk? One is paint booths are water intensive. Number two, tractor sales largely dependent on monsoons in India. Now, how to mitigate the risk? What are all the possibilities? Using technology on monsoon information. Here I would like to share with you an experience I had with the NGO in South India. Earlier, even now we are seeing tomato, people, farmers who are producing tomato in excess, they have no price and they are throwing it out. Right? They are not able to sell the tomatoes, they are throwing it out. Earlier, in that particular area, few farmers, they were using the technology with the help of the NGO, and the demand and supply was decided by them. Okay, this year, out of the 10,000 hectares available, only farmers having 3,000 to 4,000 hectares will plant tomato. Rest of the farmers will go to other products. So, the product was sold with a profit by the farmers, and the consumer also got a product at a reasonable price. So that is the ability, that is the value of technology applicable in agriculture. Same way this company is saying, by applying the technology and understanding the monsoon patterns, the tractor sales can be determined. Number one, better utilization of water across processes and leakage controls. Wherever you have leakage, you can control it, and utilization of water in a better manageable ways. Recycling and rainwater harvesting. Yes, we have heard of recycling. Wherever possible, you reuse the water. Remove the extra elements, reuse the water, and have a good rain harvesting system. And most of the cities, new constructions are having a good rain harvesting system today. And groundwater recharge. That's also very important. Next. Product quality, safety, and recall management. It is a risk in a pharmaceutical industry. Significant vulnerability to product quality and safety issues. Recently, we saw a news item where a cough syrup, which was consumed by children across Rajasthan and Madhya Pradesh, went to fatal. It is a fatal thing happened and children died. 200 odd children died because of consuming the. It is almost poison. It is not medicine. So that is one of the important issues in terms of pharmaceutical industry, the safety. If you see the pharmaceutical products or medicines, you can read the safety aspect given as directed by your physician, dosage, as directed by your physician. Also, they would have written something in some of the medicines, possibility of a side effect 1 among 10,000, 1 among 20,000 kind of thing, right? So that is how the safety element of, because it is not the mistake of the pharma companies. Again, as I told you earlier, any technology product, any innovative product, and it is consumed by various human beings, and the human systems are not like robots. Okay. A medicine which is good for one individual may not be good for other individual. So always there are possibilities of risk that side effects are there. So that is one aspect they have to take care. So they are adhering to global standards and procedures. That is very important. They have to adhere to global standards and procedures. For example, if pharmaceutical products have to be exported to USA, you have to follow FDA, Food and Administrative Rules in US. So it is a very stringent process and very expensive. You have to, a lot of money is to be spent on that. They will have extensive testing before approving a particular product. So also in Europe, anywhere you go, a pharmaceutical product which is to be exported, you have to undergo a lot of stringent measures, test measures. Then you have to adhere to it, you have to understand it, number one. Number two, periodic quality review of third-party suppliers. See, you are getting raw materials from third parties. See, all the pharmaceutical industry, they are not doing the raw material from their own, majority of them. They are all formulation for makers. They have to depend on the raw material supplies from others. When you are depending on the raw material supplies from others, if you do not have a proper quality audit, then your end product will also carry the same thing. So, periodic quality review of third-party suppliers is required. So, whenever you are procuring raw materials, you have to have your people, your technicians to go and see the facilities available in that area and is it okay? Is it complying to the pharmacopoeias? Then, implementing brand protection, IP and trademark, and anti-counterfeit measures to ensure authenticity of the products in the market. This is very important because IP violations are quite common. See, even though you have enough controls, it is very difficult for you to control IP violations if you are not vigilant enough to take care of it, number one. And anti-counterfeit measures will destroy your name. Supposing somebody is going to produce a capsule, a injectable or anything in your brand name, and it is going to be very harmful, then you will lose your market value. Next. Sustainable supply chain and responsible procurement. It is risk and opportunity. See, earlier we saw only a risk and only an opportunity. Here is a situation, it is a risk as well as opportunity. If you take care of the issues, you will have an opportunity. If you let it loose, it is risk. So that is the presentation here. Again, it is a pharmaceutical industry. The company requires its supply chain partners to adhere to ESG principles, and any non-adherence may result in a disruption of supplies. Okay. So now we are all aware BRSR core has been introduced. Okay. That BRSR core applies to top 150, 250 companies from the year 25-26 onwards. They are going to release it in such a way because it is a very difficult task. Because for a large organization, they will have n number of suppliers on both sides. They will have customers, they will have suppliers. And again, going and asking them to do the ESG reporting and compiling it and presenting it, it is a Herculean task. I don't know how the corporates are going to adhere to it. It's a Herculean task. But at the same time, SEBI realizes that it is required for the sustainability reporting so that everywhere, because we discussed this in pharma industry also, when the raw material carries a problem, it runs through the supply chain to the end product. See, unless the raw material is good, the end product will not be good. So your ESG core or BRSR core is very, very essential here. So the suppliers also following ESG principles. It's a wonderful idea. It is one of the best practices that would be once implemented. It will, in the long run, it will give a lot of positive effects. De-risk supply chain by evaluation of alternative suppliers for critical or non-substitutable raw materials. It is, even though it is a pharmaceutical industry, it holds good for any industry. If you have for a critical raw material only one supplier, then a situation may come, they will wind up and you will find it difficult to find a raw material, or you have to find a source and all those things. So your business will and have a control on both. Minimum two, even more than that. Ensuring the suppliers follow the ESG principles we have discussed. Periodic audits. This is very, very vital. See, audits anyway, in fact, on cost audit, I'm having a separate 10 minutes. I want to speak on cost audits now in this session at the end. Before that, we have any number of audits: financial audit, internal audit, secretarial audit, cost audit. But there are certain audits on technical side, energy audit, ISO audit, and other things that is very vital in terms of manufacturing areas. Next. Greenhouse gas emission and climate change management, risk and opportunity. Again, it is in an integrated steel plant. In an integrated steel plant, especially in a blast furnace, what will happen is they are stacking raw materials, iron ore, then other limestone, other materials one above other. They are giving a blast and raising the temperature to 1200 odd Celsius. And it emits lot of gases. So it is a very, very harmful thing for the environment, and in the air pollution is very high. Over the years, now they are thinking how to do the transition, how to reduce the blast furnace reduction of gases. That is, using a coke oven gas, how do you reduce it to other alternative material, number one? And how do you produce a low carbon steel making long-term plan? It is the long term. This business say use of hydrogen or electric arc process instead of blast furnace. Number one option. Number two, usage of recycling process in a major way. Actually, in steel making, they can use the scrap iron. You all know scrap iron can be used as a raw material for steel making. So instead of blast furnace route, getting a scrap iron and converting it to steel again. But at the same time, you will not get so much of raw material in this process. But Tata Group is working on a project in the UK for electric arc process only for scrap iron conversion. It will be called as a greenhouse steel production. Once it is through, it will be 100% greenhouse steel production. They are working on it. And then air pollution to be controlled as per the long-term plan. See, in the short term, again, we discussed earlier, the short term, nothing can be done because you have created a huge empire. You have created a huge manufacturing plant, and you have been using continuously various raw materials. Your processes are very high. You are going using very high temperatures and all those things. So those contending those gas emissions is not that easy to happen in one day, but constantly you have to work on that to reduce it to the level where it can be tolerable to everyone. Okay. Now, next. Yeah. Again, going back to agriculture, there is a farming project in Karnataka. It is called the Good Rice Alliance Carbon Farming Project. See, normally rice production, it requires enormous amount of water. Paddy, for producing paddy, water requirement is enormous. So this group, it's an NGO. What they have done extensive R&D and reduce the water level to the extent required by the paddy plant without disturbing the yield. So they have been successful. They have been successful in this process. So they have mentioned very clearly, they have reduced water use by 30 to 35%. Normally, paddy requires, they have also given the statistics here, 3,000 to 5,000 liters of water in the traditional cultivation for 1 kilogram of paddy. That is the statistic given by them. For producing 1 kilogram of paddy, you require 3,000 to 5,000 liters of water, which they claim they have reduced it by 35%, 30 to 35%. And also, when the paddy fields are flooded with water always, there is a reaction happening with the plant and methane is getting released in the atmosphere. So again, it is a greenhouse gas emission. If you reduce the water consumption, the paddy field, there are two possibilities. One is you are preserving excess water. Number two, you are reducing the greenhouse gas emission. These are all the advantages. Yeah, next. Now we quickly see the NGRBC. I think, see, I'm not going into elaborate discussion on the definitions because I have a presumption that all cost accountants, we are very much aware of the sustainability reporting standards. Okay. So NGRBC is very much, I think all of us are aware, National Guideline for Responsible Business Conduct. That is the expansion of NGRBC. It has 9 principles. Actually, if you see the BRSR reporting standard, Section A discusses about certain basic points and also what we have discussed in the 6 or 7 examples I have shown. Section B discusses about these 9 principles. How you have handled these 9 principles, what are all the percentage of marks you will give, Section B. And Section C again goes back to 9 principles and what you have done extensively to the focused point. Now, in the first point, we discuss on business should conduct and govern themselves with integrity in a manner that is ethical, transparent, and accountable. Okay. If you ask me, all these 9 principles are already there, which is not expressly spelled out. Now, it is under a formatting. Each principle we are discussing. So, what is the number of, see, actually in this principle, what they are asking you to do is, what is the attention you are given from the top management to lowest management, to make them aware of working on this principle, or principle of should conduct and govern themselves with integrity and a manner that is ethical, transparent, and accountable. Number of training programs you have to give. What is the training you have given to your top level management, board level management, CFO, company secretary level management, and middle level like that. Number 2, percentage coverage of awareness programs conducted. Details of fines, penalties, punishments, anything which you have paid at various levels, you have to mention. Then financial year, in this financial year and yearly connected matters, you have to say any legal issues which are concerned with that. Existence of anti-corruption, anti-bribery policy and related issues. Do you have a policy? What is your policy on ethics? Do you have an anti-corruption, anti-bribery policy in the organization? And complaints, if any, for conflict of interest of directors or KMPs. Okay. It is very difficult to, majority of the reports will say no. Yes. But conflicts do happen in a small way in organizations. But this brings out under NGRBC principle, we want to put it before the stakeholders. Okay. Number 2. Next one. Business should provide goods and services in a manner that is sustainable and safe. We have seen the examples earlier, and it is again unwritten law. See, when you are doing a business or service, it should be sustainable and safe to your client or customer. See, as a cost accountant, if we are giving an advice to somebody, we have to be 1,000 times we have to ensure that we are giving a right advice to them. Okay, that should be safe for them. R&D and capital expenditure in technologies to improve environment and social impacts of products and processes. Sustainable sourcing details. Reuse, recycling, safe disposal of waste. Details of extended producer responsibility. See, extended producer responsibility it is available in certain product ranges and certain countries, where especially in the pharma industry and in other maybe computer industry, it is available. So you have to give a response that is producer responsibility. You have produced it very safe. If it is, that is like in a way it is like guarantee and warranty we are getting. And here it is all connected, interconnected. Section A, B, C is interconnected. Whatever you are reporting in section A, you are giving a detailed information under NGRBC principle number 2. Next. Business should respect and, I think it is overlapping, well-being of all the stakeholders, employees in their value chains. The business should respect and promote the well-being of all employees, including those in their value chains. Again, the well-being of employees, yes, it is available in various acts elsewhere. You see the Factories Act, Industrial Disputes Act, whatever, employees, it is available. But are you following? That's very important. Here you are going to give that input, number one, across the value chain. Supposing you have, if you see the large manufacturing areas, you will have small offices of your suppliers also inside the campus. Are you taking care of them? That's very important. That is what they mean by principle number 3. Employees covered under various insurance, ESI, PF, etc. Details amount of, and here again you have to repeat. What is the ESI, PF and other things? Is there any complaint against your company from the authorities? You have not complied with this act, that act and all. Accessibility of premises by differently abled employees. Supposing you have differently abled employees in your organization, how you are making them accessible? For example, last year we completed a report for a housing finance company. This question we have to answer. But housing finance company, they are working in a corporate office in a general building. So they had to create a ramp for this purpose. They had around 5 differently abled employees. There was no ramp. They were suffering. For answering this question, they had to create a ramp for this. We had no such thing. Now we have created a ramp. Now, redressal of grievances mechanism available. Yes, we have to say. Is it a redressal of grievance mechanism available? You say yes. Union participation and training in skill upgradation. Training in skill upgradation. Right. Next. Business should respect the interest and responsive and be responsive to all the stakeholders. Identification of key stakeholder group, frequency of engagement of such group. See, it addresses to mainly for services like schools, hospitals, service industries, then also certain large manufacturing areas, industries where you have to create a situation where you always have an interaction with the consumers, your customers. So identification of key stakeholder group. Then you have to identify who are the key stakeholders and whether interaction is happening and how frequently it is happening. In most of the small organizations, it may not be an issue. Whereas in large entities, this is very, very vital. Some of the reports you can see, they would have elaborately given the reply in this area. Next. Principle number 5. Business should respect and promote human rights. Percentage of employees, workers provide training on human rights. Details of remuneration paid to all as per the applicable acts. Details of sexual harassment, child labor, etc. Other issues on human rights. What are all the human rights? Again, it's a declaration. Almost companies give a declaration that we follow human rights. We don't have any violations as far as the human rights are concerned. Next. Business should respect and make efforts to protect and restore the environment. This is where we are. We have been addressing the issue since the beginning, and all the companies are in this area mainly. One is details of energy consumption, because water, again we go to the 5 elements. Whatever we are going to discuss, it will be limited to the 5 elements mainly. Raise energy consumption, turnover and intensity, then independent assessment evaluation by an external agency, details of performance, achieve and trade. Very small letters, I'm not able. Some of the PAT scheme of the government of India. Thank you. Details of performance, achieve and trade. PAT, performance, achieve and trade. Scheme of government of India, water consumption, independent assessment, evaluation by external agency, zero liquid discharge, coverage and implementation. If you see, we are tabulating your energy consumption, then your scheme of see, the PAT scheme is nothing but they are given certain, like your incentive scheme for manufacturers. If you achieve these parameters, you are eligible for an incentive from government. Water consumption, then zero liquid discharge. We are discussing the main issues on again these elements: water, power, this thing. Go to the next slide. It's a continued slide. Principle 6 is a continued slide. Details of air emission other than GHG. The greenhouse gases are some list of gases available, like your carbon dioxide, methane, then some fluoro gases and all. Other than that, what are all the emissions available you are going to do? You have details of air emissions. You have independent assessment evaluation by external agency. Again, for everything, for every activity, have you done an assessment by external agency? Is there an energy audit? Is there a pollution control board audit? Like that you have to mention here. Details of greenhouse gas emissions, scope 1 and scope 2 emissions and intensity. Here they have given the list. Actually, CO2, CH4, N2O, HFCS, PFCS, SF6 and NF3. These are all chemical names of the various gases. That is carbon dioxide, methane, nitrous oxide, then hydrofluorocarbon, this thing, and potassium fluorocarbon, SF6 sulfur dioxide maybe, and then nitrous fluorooxide, something. I'm not very clear about the names of the chemical elements. Scope 1 and scope 2, we are all aware what is scope 1 and scope 2. Scope 1 is the emissions, which I'm putting it in a simple way. I'm not going at elaborate discussion on these areas. Scope 1 is the emissions which are happening through our suppliers, what we are getting from our raw material supplies and other things, where the emissions are happening by them. Scope 2 is the emissions produced from within the organization. Like we are using technology, we are using various things, we are creating emissions. And scope 3 emission is the outside. Scope 3 emission, who are all consuming our product, consumer and service, that is scope 3. In a nutshell, I have not gone elaborately into the subject. Projects and plans to reduce the GHG emissions, you have to report it here. What is the waste management? How you are going to handle the waste management? And independent assessment, evaluation, and external agency, environmental approvals, clearances. Again, if you see, these are all already available with the organization. It is not that they are going to create it new. Am I right? All these certifications, all these pollution control certification, environmental clearance certifications, everything are available with the organization. Here, we are creating an awareness that, yes, we have it. We are conducting periodic audits. We are also updating it. Supposing certificate obtained 30 years back, you are not renewed it. It is irrelevant today. See, right? So every certification you have to renew at periodic intervals after making certain adjustments, arrangements in your system of operation. Supposing you had a technology 30 years back, the same technology is not approvable as of today. So you have to make changes in your pollution management system. Unless you make the pollution management system, your approval is not going to be given. So that we have to ensure. That is the whole sum and substance of this principle. Next. Business, when engaging in influencing public and regulatory policy, should do so in a manner that is responsible and transparent. That means advertisements. Mainly we are talking about advertisements here. You cannot advertise your product in such a way that you are giving a wrong information to your consumer. Right? Consume 1 teaspoonful of my product, then you can fly in the air. You cannot do that. So you have to be aware of it. Okay. So your advertisements, your public influencing system, advertisement is nothing but you are influencing the public. So your public influencing system should be ethical, should not go beyond the standards. But there are certain advertisements, they say within 1 week, we will make you fair. So I used to have a question with them. Is there anything wrong with people who are not fair? My question, right? So there is a wrong consumption in the society that people who are fair only are capable of performing. Not at all. People who are healthy, they only are capable of performing. Anyway, let us not get next. 1 second, just hold on. Affiliations with trade and industry chambers of associations, you have to give it here. Or because if you are, do you have the responsibility of becoming a member of a trade or association so that, see, when a trade association is there, you have a kind of conduct which is coming under the umbrella of that rules and regulations. Then details of corrective actions taken based on the adverse judicial regulatory orders for anti-competitive conduct in financial year. Okay. So is there, again, it is, this one is not going to affect all small and medium businesses. Large scale businesses, when there is mergers and acquisitions happening, is it coming under the scanner of Competitive Commission of India? Whether they are finding fault with any competitive commission, and then are you adhering to the rules and regulations like that? It is, again, it is a very large legal process, but we have to mention here, was there any act? Are you coming under the act? Do you have any directions given by them? Have you adhered to the directions? That's it. Leadership indicators. Anyway, I am not at all, I have not touched any of the leadership indicators here for want of time, because each NGRBC principle has got 2 things, essential elements and leadership elements. In essential elements, we ensure that we comply with that. In the leadership elements, you are going to be a role model for this business, like that. Next. Time up to what time we have to do? Hello? Aditi?
Yes, sir.
We
Yes,
have
sir.
time now. We have time now?
Yes, we have time. We have time, sir.
Okay.
We are very much engrossed with the presentation. So
Okay.
it's okay.
Number 8, principle number 8. Business should promote inclusive growth and equitable development. Social impact, again, it is in on par with your CSR, equitable, inclusive growth and all. It's more of it, according to me, it's more of theory. Because to what extent it is, I'll tell you, there was a presentation long back in one of the institutes program, in our institute or other institute, I don't remember. That time they were told, see, the CSR is only available in few countries like India. In Western countries, conducting your business as per law itself is CSR. In UK and all, there is no, see, you run your business as per act, ethically, comply with the standards. That's itself. So CSR is a special thing which is very good. In a country like India, CSR is a wonderful thing which happened in Companies Act 2013, making it a mandatory one. So it is really, it works, it is working very well. I'm on the CSR committee of couple of companies. So it is working out very well and the needy people are getting the benefits. It is there. But project for which ongoing rehabilitation resettlement is undertaken, mechanism to receive and redress grievances of the community. Again, it is a large industries can do that. Percentage of input materials by value to total input sourced from suppliers. Yeah. This in a different way, we are having these kind of rules and regulations in our Companies Act itself. Okay. But here they want you to present it. What is the kind of support? What is the support a large industry has given to a MSME? That is the kind of presentation here. Next. Business should engage with and provide value to their consumers in a responsible manner. Again, it is very important. Like your advertisement. When you are influencing the consumer, you should know to what extent I can do it. There are a lot of advertisements we are seeing. So, in fact, in one of the earlier advertisements, one child asked me, for using a particular detergent, should I fall down and make some this thing? So, that was really, it was a joke. In fact, we were enjoying that joke. Mechanisms on environment and social parameter. It is available now. If you see, generally a lot of materials are coming with the information on the environment and the social issues which is coming now. Percentage of products with the information on safe and responsible usage, like our cigarettes and alcohol. In a way, if you say they are on printing on the cigarettes, no, it is harmful to health. Consumption of cigarette is harmful to your health. Consumption of alcohol is harmful to your health, like that. Percentage of products with the information of recycling and safe disposal. Yeah. See, in some of the pharmaceutical products, this thing, you have to use it very carefully for disposing the waste. And consumer complaints on data privacy, advertising, cyber security, all these things are available. Okay, next. Yeah. Now, so far, what we have been discussing is on the corporate reporting side. He started with the Panchabhutas, 5 elements of the nature, and how these 5 elements of the nature are totally in the sustainability reporting or ESG BRSR. See, all our ESG BRSR reporting, majority of that will be within this, all these 5 elements are to be addressed, because sustainability, if you see the SDG goals, 17 goals of SDG, United Nations, life above the earth, life beneath the earth, all these things are coming. So we are discussing on the this thing. Now, from here onwards, we are going to discuss a few presentations, or even today they are concerned about the nature, concerned about the elements of this thing. So from now on, we are going to discuss on those issues. So far, we have discussed on the corporate reporting system, examples of corporate reporting, how it is a risk or opportunity, and all the NGRBC 9 principles. We have discussed how the presentations are made. Okay, now, next slide. Our motto, ICMA motto, Asatoma Sadgamaya, Tamasoma Jyotirgamaya, Mrutyoma Amrudangamaya. Actually, on the Tamasoma Jyotirgamaya, I have written a long back. I have written an article in 2011 in our SARC journal. Tamasoma Jyotirgamaya. How wonderful, wonderful word from Brihadaranya Upanishad. And ICMA taking it as their motto is still more perfect, a perfect motto for our institution. Actually, we are, in fact, we are also saying in our statement, no, behind every successful business nation, there is always a CMA. So it is Tamasoma Jyotirgamaya, where from darkness to light. Next slide, please come. Yeah. See, it is not one time bringing out from darkness to light. It is a process. It has to be there. Always there. See, darkness will appear and there should be light. Darkness will appear. That it is a repeated process and it is always embedded in the corporate organizational system. Next. Here I am using a Tirukkural. I don't know how many of you are aware of Tirukkural, but our Prime Minister Modi ji is taking it all over the world. Tirukkural, a Tamil management and a literary this thing. You please make it small. It is going beyond the. So let all of them see. Yeah. I'll read it in Tamil and then give the English translation. Seidakka alla seyakkedum, seidakka seyyamai yanum kedum. It is a kind of corporate, I can put it as a corporate policy. Okay. I'll read out the English one. By doing don'ts and by not doing the do's, both are disasters. It is for individual, it is for a government, it is for a corporate. Wherever you can use it. See, always Tirukkural is like that. It has only 2 lines, but it is like a powerful this thing capsule. Come down. Next. Yeah. This quotation is from Bhagavad Gita. Karmano hepi bodhavyam cha nikarmanaha, akarmanasya bodhavyam kahna karmano gatihi. It is again a translation of my earlier Tirukkural, Seidakka alla seyakkadum. Do's and don'ts should be clearly understood for the betterment of all the stakeholders. Okay. See, an individual can have certain do's and don'ts. It is not going to affect the society at large. But a corporate cannot have do's and don'ts. It's for the thing. All these do's and don'ts are for the corporate. Okay. So people, all the stakeholders should be very clearly understanding that. If you see, go in a pharmaceutical industry, you have to wear the specific coats, specific caps, specific shoes when you are entering into this area. It is a do. If you say, no, I will not wear all these things, you cannot do that. That is the example I want to give it here. Do's and don'ts should be clearly understood for the betterment of all the stakeholders. The works performed always impact the society at large. And so one should be totally aware, because whatever you do, whatever you don't do, it has an impact on the society as an organization. Here I am referring to a corporate. As a corporate entity, your actions are definitely affecting the society. So we have to be aware of it. A few occasions would teach how keeping off from the actions would also be beneficial. In fact, it goes deeper. Bhagavad Gita goes a step deeper, saying that a few occasions would teach how keeping off from the actions would also be beneficial. Next. This is from Taittiriya Upanishad. See, earlier we were talking on Tirukkural and Bhagavad Gita on actions, do's and don'ts. Here we are, this Upanishad, this again, this Upanishad speaks on the nature. Bhuriti va agnihi, bhuvaiti vayuhu, suvaritya dityaha, maheti chandramaha, chandramasavava sarvano jyoti gumshi mahiyante. Next slide. You please go to the next slide for the meaning. This talks of harmony with the nature. Taittiriya Upanishad. It gives lot of rules for human beings One such rule is you have to be in harmony with nature. The above Upanishad mantra lists the nature's elements of Agni, Vayu, Surya, and Chandra, and emphasis is placed on these elements, on the existence of life in the universe as a whole. See, always Agni, fire. Agni means fire, Vayu means air, Surya, sun, and Chandra is moon. These four elements are having an emphasis, that is, it is placed on these elements, on the existence of lives in the universe as a whole. Next. From the Rig Veda, actually, can you little boom it? I am not able to see it properly. Make it little larger. Come down. Madhuvata ritayate madhuksharanti sindavaha. Madhvi, it is hidden. Madhunaktam utoshati, madhumaktam, madhumarno vanaspati dugmo agni suryaha. Madhvi no mantuna pita. Yeah, you come to English translation. Again, it is from Rig Veda. It again praises it wants the universe, it wants the environment to be very happy to us. Sweetly blow the winds, the streams scatter sweetness. May the herbs bring us sweetness, the nights and dawns fill us with sweetness. The dust of the earth is full of sweetness. May heaven itself, like a father, bring us sweetness. Hastunat Pita. The ancient forest trees are full of sweetness. May the sun itself shower sweetness on us. May sweetness flow towards us from all directions. It is a very important Rigvedic mantra. On various occasions, it is being told. See, when we are spreading happiness, it is like happy birthday. It is like happy birthday. Wherever required, this mantra is uttered. Like full of sweetness again around you. Full of sweetness around you. Next. You can come little, make it smaller because it is going outside. Yeah. Now we are coming to our title, The Path of Symbiotic Existence. Actually, if you see, our physical, mental, social, or environmental issues mostly arise from a lack of symbiotic attitude towards our surroundings. We don't care. It means we do not care much about our surroundings. We are more selfish. That is the message we are getting it here. Humanity has become a parasite on the host planet Earth. It may be a very harsh statement, but it is a fact. Humanity has become a parasite on the host planet Earth. We exploit natural resources. See, there is a great difference between we use natural resources and we exploit natural resources. We are hypnotized. We are hypnotized into believing that the gross domestic product, GDP, is the only measure of growth and well-being of a country. We always talk about GDP, and that is the measure we are using. International organizations sit together and blame each other for this economic and environmental menace. See, if you see even today, for the present problem of climate change or whatever it is, the developed nations are putting blame on developing nations in a way. You are using it, you are doing it, you are doing it, like that. Next. They seldom realize that all of us have to breathe the same air that envelops our planet. See, there is no separate air for India, there is no separate air for US or separate air for America, Europe or Russia, whatever. You have to breathe the same air, and for that matter, you have to use the same water. See, we cannot distinguish water in Indian Ocean, water in Atlantic Ocean, water in. See, water engulfs the whole earth and water moves around. So, we have to realize, the message is very clear. We have to realize that all of us have to breathe the same air that envelops our planet. Every individual in every nation is responsible when it comes to environmental degradation. See, we cannot point our fingers to others. Are you okay? We have to ask the question, am I okay? Am I responsible? Am I doing my activities correctly to ensure that surroundings are good? Next. See, social responsibility. I used to say always one thing. Our CSR, we call it as a corporate social responsibility. But there is a foundation for it, which is citizens' social responsibility. See, corporates are made up of citizens only. See, a corporate is artificial body created by company law, where citizens sit together and form a company. Okay. So, if the citizen is not socially responsible, 5 citizens put together who are not socially responsible, that company CSR, you can imagine how good it is. That is the whole thing. What I contribute to be first on what I get. They alone live who live for this Swami Vivekananda. I am getting from Swami Vivekananda. They alone live who live for others. Rest are made more dead than alive. From this understanding will come true symbiosis. When we connect with our surroundings at a deeper level, there will be a perfect give and take that will benefit the environment. We must renounce this position, this parasitism. We must renounce this parasitism and become the torch bearers of symbiotic existence. Next. A amusing moral story, a small story here. Brahma, we all know who is Brahma, the creator, invited both Devas and Asuras, the Devas and Rakshas, we can put it that way, for a feast with one small rule. Eat without bending your elbow. That is the rule. Asuras tried to feed themselves and failed, whereas Devas fed each other and enjoyed. How it is? Each one sat on the opposite side. He had a long cradle. He was feeding the other man, that other man was feeding him. That way they enjoyed the feast. The moral of this story is symbiosis and cooperation lead to happiness and success. Next.
Fantastic.
Next. Dharma and sustainability. Rita is compliance and ethical balance. Dharma is corporate and personal responsibility. Yajna is sacrifice, giving back to society and nature. And Prakriti must be valued and preserved as capital. Next. The accountants as guardians of ESG. Cost accountants act as custodians of resource efficiency. In fact, I made a statement earlier that I will talk little more on cost audit. Right. See, long back, I think cost audit came somewhere in 1960s. First, for some 44 essential industries were brought under cost audit. And cost audit views the whole thing in a totally different way, like a sustainable model. In other audits, what we are seeing numbers, we see the numbers. What is the capital? What is the profit? What is the inventory? What is the ratio? That's all. It ends there. Whereas a cost audit talks about the efficiency, raw material utilization. If you go into our variance analysis, we talk as price variance, usage variance, utilization variance, yield variance. We go to the extent of yield variance.
Yes.
Okay. So this started, whatever we are talking on BRSR, today only this came to my mind. We are talking on BRSR reporting and all. In a way, in a small way, it has started 60 years back by the Institute of Cost Accountants of India. Maybe the cost audit is one of the initiation process for this kind of analytical activity we are doing.
Absolutely.
I think I am making it as a message to all the cost accountants who are listening to me that we have to ensure that we have to go deeper into the subject, and we have to ensure that cost accountants can be a role model in creating all these consultancy services in the sustainability development for corporates. Wonderful. Cost. In fact, who are all the previous people who created the cost audit, I am very bow my head to them.
Yes, sir.
Okay. And decisions affect both economic and ecological systems. Vedic ethics guide towards aparigraha. Aparigraha means minimalism, cost control. Aparigraha. Sustainable accounting integrates moral and ecological intelligence. Next. I think one more slide must be there. No? Oh, see, under conclusion, I want to present in such a way. See, we have seen both. Now, the corporate reporting. See, I am not for reporting without this understanding it thoroughly. Time is there?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Another 5
Yes.
minutes?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So I would like to sum up. I would like to sum up what I had made a presentation today. We'll start from Tamasoma Jyotirgamaya, because that is our motto. See, under Tamasoma Jyotirgamaya, wherever darkness appears, we always lighten it. We provide the light. So in a corporate environment, it is not the question of financial reporting, which is also important. See, I'm not undermining financial reporting. Ultimately, it presents to the outside world, to stakeholders, what is the essence of the operational activity of the whole year. That is on the surface. If you go underneath, what are all the activities and where all the activities, the cost or the resource efficiency has made it happen. Supposing we declare a turnover of say 1000 crore and a profit element, after all the adjustments, you give a profit element of say 100 crores or 50 crore. This is on the surface. But when you go deeper into the system, the 1000 crore came from 18 odd products, and under the 18 odd products, these were all having better contributions. There were products were having negative contribution, but we had to give it in the society. Like that. Going deeper into the subject, the presentation by a cost audit report matches very well with the sustainability BRSR reporting. This is my conclusion. For that, I am drawing references from Vedic scriptures of our Brihadaranya Upanishad, Bhagavad Gita, Tirukural, and Rigveda, and Taittiriya Upanishad. I have referred. And also I am referring to the reporting system that is existing today as BRSR, and certain examples, around 6 or 7 examples, I made it, presented it to you, how the risk and opportunity is identified by them, how they are going to be utilized. And ultimately, we as cost accountants has more responsibility in this reporting environment, because we talk on cost of material, we talk on cost of labor, we talk on marginal costing, we talk on variance analysis of material utilization, yield variance, and all those things, and put it across in a cost audit report, which forms the fundamental reporting system for any corporate. This is my conclusion. So symbiotic existence is very, very, very vital, and it is a message to all the individuals. Unless we are aware of this symbiotic existence, then corporates cannot exist on their own, because the corporates are made up of individuals. A society is made up of individuals, and each individual is a sample of the society. The sample is very good, society is good. So correction at the sample level is required. That is symbiotic existence. So thank you very much for all of you for patient listening to me.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you. Yeah. Do we have any questions?
One of the question or a suggestion has been made by one of our member. Is saying that in spite of the population explosion in the globe, there is a need for strict adherence to natural rules and code of conduct given by the Vedas through the Vedas. Actually, the Almighty God has given those conduct through the Vedas. So, what are your views on that? Like strict adherence to such natural rules and code of conduct.
Yeah, again, the statement is well taken, but is what I have been presenting. See, like your in the concluding remarks, we had an amusing story, no? That is,
Yes.
we have to, as a society, we have to live together. We have to understand that it is my responsibility to take care of the nature. Yeah, I
Yes.
have to use water in a strict way that I cannot waste water. I cannot waste other elements of society. I cannot rupture the nature. If each individual gets that kind of a message, reporting becomes more easier. Otherwise, see, whenever there is all these industries are a must. They are required. Technologies are required. And Swami Vivekananda used to say, everything has got two sides. When you say this is good, always there is a bad element associated with that. You have to understand how to use the good and how to keep the bad element under control. See, nobody says that it should be zero. It cannot be zero.
Mm.
But nature gives in abundance. Nature is giving in abundance. But to what extent, what is the limitation up to which you can use the nature? You have to be thorough in that. You should not exploit the nature. You can use the nature. That is the message.
Right. Wonderful, sir.
Yeah.
I mean, I was just thinking at the beginning that how would you match with the Panchabhutas and Upanishad and Vedas with this? But I mean, we have a great treasure given by the Vedas and Upanishad,
Yeah.
and we have been overlooking that. And I mean, that was a more golden age now than this age.
In fact, I am doing further research in Vedic principles.
Oh.
But one thing very clear, we have to adopt to the requirement of the current day situation. At the
Yes.
same time, again, the message is very clear. See, reporting will not work.
Yes, a tick box
Because
approach will not work.
that is what is happening. See, I have at least half a dozen clients now on as a BRSR. But they are all saying, sir, somehow prepare the report and give it to us.
Only following in letter, but not in spirit,
Yes,
actually.
but I have been telling them, see, it is not the preparing report and presenting, it is also writing English. That is not required. We have to be aware of it.
Yes.
Because I'll tell you where exactly our role as cost accountants will come is, there are situations where the this raw material cannot be used because of this emission. So you have to replace the raw material. When you are replacing the raw material, then what will happen to your cost of production?
Yes.
What will happen to your profitability? How to adopt it? What is the strategy? What is the cost management strategy? You have to give it to your customer. See, otherwise what will happen is you cannot do it at all unless you understand.
Yes.
So we have to go at deeper levels to understand the subject. That is why I'm saying again, I'm more interested in this because of the activities done by our costing institution. We are going deeper into the subject.
Yes.
Like analyzing, see, there are two ways of looking at a problem of a human being. Simply saying, yes, you have a problem, we will give a medicine. That is one thing. Number two, like Ayurveda. Ayurveda goes deeper into the system and says, this is how it should be, because they have other principles and say, unless you continue this practice, instead of taking medicine, you take a practice, you correct your practice, then you live long. You will not have any problem. Like even in any medicinal form, it is there. There are doctors, you say, they go deeper into the subject and analyze and say, see, medicine is for immediate effect, but long-term purpose, you have to do this.
Yeah.
So that is the same thing. See, we need to be consultants rather than reporters.
Yes. Right, sir.
Okay.
Great. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you.
I mean, it was totally a new way of looking into our profession, looking into the ways the new world needs to adapt for the coming few years, definitely. And it was great having you. And I personally think that we should have another session with linking of your Vedas with this,
Okay.
and I would be very much happy to host that program also.
In fact,
So,
for each of the Upanishads, we can have a separate program.
oh,
Yeah, I have only given a nutshell.
yeah. We know so little of our own culture and heritage. My God.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you
you.
so much. Thank you very much. It was my honor. It was my pleasure to introduce you and be with you for this 1 hour. I'm sure our members and participants have equally enjoyed this program, and it was an eye opener. Thank you very much on this very special day, sir.
Thank you.
With this, I would like to give the vote of thanks and thank our much esteemed President TCS Srinivasa Prasad, the President of ICMAI, CMA Neeraj Joshi sir, Vice President and CMA Dr. Ashish Thatte sir, Chairman of SSP, and all the board members of the Sustainable Standards Board, participants. You were just listening to one of our very dear board member, Dr. Subramania Sivam, and I would also like to thank CMA Dipendu Roy, our Secretary and Additional Director SSP, and to the IT and the PD team for making it happen backstage. And this is CMA Dr. Aditi Dasgupta, Joint Director SSP, signing off today. Wish you a very good weekend ahead. Thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you.